I look at what's happening in the world and what's going on, and I feel like the most important and powerful thing we can do is to have empathy for others and to look at someone in need, whatever that need is, and just to say, hey, I want to help.
All right, so we are on our way to meet up with my buddy Rick Gonzalez, who is an amazing friend, an amazing human, super talented guy. I heard he has some basketball handles. We've never played basketball together, but you know, it's gonna be an interesting day. We're gonna go from basketball to donuts and coffee to hanging out in the car and having some conversation and just chatting it up a little bit. It's gonna be a pretty amazing day. I'm pretty excited. Like, what inspired you to do acting?
That's hard to say because it was innate. I knew at 5 years old I wanted to act. There's a home video of me literally declaring that I'm going to do this. And I think there was a play at my church, and my mom saw me. She saw me do the play, and she just looked at me and was like, oh, you're for real. Like, you really do want to do this. And I was like, yeah, like, yes. So that gave her the impetus to put me into a junior high school that had a drama class. And then there was a guidance counselor there who, you know, at the time of starting to think about high school, was saying like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to continue my education in acting. Like, I want to go to the next step. She's like, well, have you heard of the school called LaGuardia High School Performing Arts? And I'm like, nah, who's that? Where's that? What's that about? She's like, well, that's the school in Manhattan to learn acting. I'm like, well, then that's where I'm gonna go. That was it. That was the foray. And then me moving to California, that came about because a buddy of mine brought it to my attention, was like, hey, Los Angeles is where it's at. You know, that's where we need to be. So I said, well, then that's where we're gonna go. So I told Mom. I never thought she would be okay with me leaving to California. So I asked her, and she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, whoa, that was easy. And then after that, I did an independent film with Christian Bale, and it just literally, it just starts to go, you know? And all of a sudden, I'm, you know, doing Biker Boys with Lawrence Fishburne. And then after that, they say, oh, can you put yourself on tape for something? And it's like this random scene, right? So I'm just auditioning, I put myself on tape, and then I come to find out it's for a Spielberg film, and then I get it. Now I'm on set working with Spielberg and Tom Cruise in War of the Worlds. Like, it just kept going.
But like, was there a moment in this whole journey, in this whole process, where you were like, I'm ready to be done? Like, I'm checking out.
Yeah, I mean, it was twice. It was that time where I told my agent, I think I'm gonna go back to New York. I'm just gonna throw in the towel. And he was adamant. He was like, no, don't do it. And then the second time was with my wife. I told my wife, I'm like, I think I'm done. Like, I don't have it anymore. I think the end of the road is here. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything. I'm gonna probably try to go back to New York, maybe get a regular job and just hang it up, you know? And she just looked at me like, you're an idiot. Like, what are you talking about? And she stopped me from making that call or even like further going down that path. And I'm thankful because I now have the confidence again. You know what I mean? I'm in a place where I will never feel that way again.
I think it's amazing that there's people in the world like you who have made it, you know, in terms of your craft, your success, your dream coming to life, and you're taking the time to be generous and to give back. And obviously I know, which the whole world's about to know, that you joined the Spring and became a Spring member. So tell me kind of what moved you into that, just going, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this community that's trying to help people in the world.
I look at what's happening in the world and what's going on, and I feel like the most important and powerful thing we can do is to have empathy for others and to look at someone in need, whatever that need is, and just to say, hey, I want to help, you know? And so I can now, you know what I mean? It's something as simple as joining the Spring. You don't need to be the hero and pull out $1 million. That's not what this is about.
Right.
You know, we're saving the day together.
I think what I love most about Rick's story is that it reminds me that it takes a community of people to shape and impact one individual. Like, it was his mom early on in life, it was his manager at one point, his wife at one point, and since I was young, I had this thing inside of me that was like, man, I want to change the whole world. But Rick's story reminds me that it's about changing one person's world. Like, that is where it all begins. And I love that Charity Water has given us the ability to do that. They created this amazing community of people that are getting together, showing up month in and month out to end the water crisis in our lifetime. I love that $30 a month can literally give 12 people a year clean and safe drinking water. And so maybe you're like, look, there's so much going on in the world, Pedro. How and why should I be a part of this? And there's so many beliefs and ideas and things separating us. Listen, in all of the clutter and all of the noise, I think this is a great place to start. So let's start here.